to, go all the way, stress yourself and all of that. The only thing you have to do is install the Clickafix application from your application store, whether it's more on Google Play or on your Apple Store. So install this Clickafix application, and then all you have to do is request for a service, whether it's an electrical service you need, a plumbing service. And Pawan explained to us how that all of the registered, skilled people on the platform have been duly assessed. So you don't have any issues with security. You are very safe. All of these people, and they also ensure that they are well trained. Okay. So imagine just you need to have your hair fixed, and all you have to do is a click on your phone, and a professional hairstylist shows up at your doorstep in 45 minutes or less. And you also get to see how much they charge, how well they know their job. It's all there on the application. So go ahead and install the application right away. And then can you also tell us from your experience with leading this revolution at Clickafix, can you, what would you say is the role, how relevant are skilled people in the business world generally?
I think skilled people are, more and more work is getting specialized. So we would need more and more skilled people. As the economies grow, as the GDPs of the countries would grow, you would find services segment becoming more and more important as a percentage of the country's GDP. And we have seen this in growing economies globally, that the percentage of this of the service segment keeps increasing as the economies grow. So with youth and skilled youth, I think they're going to play a very, very critical part. I think the other element which is there is that when it comes to skills, now buying and selling of skills has become global. So I think accessibility to a much bigger market is also available to the youth today. So especially when you talk about the white collar skills, which, as you were mentioning about copywriting or video editing, etc. I mean, it's not restricted to 15, 20, 30 people whom you know. It's global now. So now it's a function of how you can reach out. I mean, how you can influence so many customers and get job from anywhere.
Wow, that's beautiful, because just like you rightly said, it's not more limited to 10, 20 people that I mean, family and friends. Business today has gone way beyond family and friends. So if you're still doing the family and friends kind of business, then you are way, way behind. It's a global platform that you have been exposed to. You now have the opportunity to reach the world. I mean, thanks to amazing platforms like LinkedIn, where people are really, really making exploits. You can get to meet professionals who are in need of your services from all over the world. So it's not a time to play it small. It's not a time to just let me just do my own thing. And then, though, as interesting as that is, can you also share with us what's your advice for young people, particularly, who are really skilled at what they do? I mean, for example, I know that I can write really well. I'm a voiceover artist. I know I can do it pretty well. So, but then I may not have this flair for entrepreneurship. I'm not myself like a business person, and I think some people, you just have this entrepreneurship vibes with them, regardless of what they do. They seem to have a way to create a business out of it, but not everyone has that, that skill, if I would put it that way. So what's your advice for such kind of people? They have the skill, they are very good at what they do, but they just don't have that entrepreneurship vibe,
So it's, as I said, I mean, have the empathy towards your customer, understand your customer, try to find out what is the customer's pain point and how you can help him or her is important. And keep your focus on the customer and just try to satisfy the customer. And when you are true to understanding the customer's need, I mean, everything else would follow, because a customer immediately understands whether this person really understands my problem or not, whether he or she can take care of my problem. And from there, you can have that relationship with the customer. You can have that connection or the bonding with the customer. And from there, you would be able to sell your services. Uh, Look, I personally believe that all of us are salespeople, right? And I think some might like it or some might not like it. For some, it comes very, very intuitively. For the others, it might not come intuitively. But there is nothing in life which we are doing where we are not selling. We are,
Wow.
I mean, you go on a date, you're selling yourself. You go and get a customer, you're selling yourself, right? You're trying to negotiate with the landlord, you're selling yourself. I mean, any part of your transaction, when it comes to an transaction or any, when it comes to interaction with two people, you're doing some kind of the sale or not. And therefore, I mean, when people tell me that I'm not a good salesman, I think they get it wrong, because they presume sales is only when you're being a salesman, when you are actually trying to get money out of some people. But when you're trying to get the desired result from the opposite party is what, when you're selling yourself, right? Now, the desired result can be anything. So stop believing that you are not a good salesperson or you're not a salesperson. All of us are salespeople. I mean, some hone that skill better than the others, but all of us do that, right? So I think believe in yourself, keep upskilling yourself, understand the customer, have the empathy towards customer, and you'll be successful.
Wow. Wow.
And
Brilliant. Interesting.
end of the day, besides this, be willing to put extra hours and be hard working.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, I didn't get the last thing you said.
I said, I mean, believe in terms of going the extra mile and be hardworking, because there is no shortcut to that, for sure.
Wow. Yeah. I think that's actually the point. This last point just stated is really where a lot of people have that difficulty drawing the line. That hard work actually is what people are not really interested in. They feel like entrepreneurs have to work so much to build a business, and I mean, they're not ready for that. But then you shared something very interesting, and that is the fact that everybody is a salesperson. Everybody sells something, regardless of what you do. You're trying to get a house with a landlord, you're selling yourself. You're telling him why you're going to stay in his house and be a very peaceful tenant. You want to get into the university, you write your exams, and then you're telling your examiner why they should give you the admission or why you deserve a particular score. So everybody is a salesperson regardless of what you do. So when you are skilled and then you get to feel like, okay, you don't really have that entrepreneurship vibe, or you're not really a business person, there's really no special, class, so to say, of business people. And those some people, seem to be more skilled or more trained in it, but then it's a sign that you too can get better, you can improve, you can develop these skills. These things are inherent in everybody. Everybody is born a negotiator. You negotiate everything. I mean, if you even negotiate when you're going to wake up, when you're going to sleep, your mind just has all of that activity running in. So everybody gets to negotiate at one point or the other. So see your skill as a solution. Okay, don't be selfish about it. Don't just feel like, okay, I can do this thing, so that's it. See it as a solution to somebody's problem. See it as a solution to a business's problem. He talked about having empathy. You can't really go any far, whether in business or whatever you're doing, without empathy. You have to see how that whatever it is that you have to offer, is going to change your customers for the better. It's going to help make their lives, more improved and help them to be better. Imagine that you have the cure for a very terrible disease, let's say cancer. I mean, you're not going to keep it to yourself and say, no, I'm not the business kind of person, let me just keep it. And you're not going to do that. Why? Because there's some sort of empathy that you have on your inside. You feel like, oh, people who are going through who have cancer are really struggling, and then they need help. So see your skill in that light. It may not look so big or so professional like other people are doing it out there, but see it as a solution to someone's problem. whether you are writing, see your writing as a solution to a company's or an organization's, low sales record. See your skill as coming in to bring profit. Okay, so have empathy, know your customers, what they really want, and then you're on your way to making money from your skills. Thank you so much, Pawan. That has been very, very brilliant. If you're just joining us, this is the Utidia Talkshow brought to you by YouthUp Global, and it's the second episode. And I have an amazing guest with me today. His name is Pawan Bandari. He's the founder and director at Clickafix, a mobile application where you get to request for skilled artisans to come fix things in your home, like a plumber, an electrician, a generator repairer, or even a hairdresser or a barber. All of these are available on the Clickafix app. So go ahead and download the app right away. Like this video, share it, and hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much, Pawan. It's been such an insightful discussion with you so far. Considering your exposure and your experience, even though you're an Indian, but you've been in the Nigerian economy for a while. Just so you know, if you haven't heard, Clickafix was launched officially in Lagos on the 21st of June this year. So that was just last month. Clickafix was launched in Lagos, and it's been launched in Delta Asaba last year, November. And they're doing amazing, heading on to Port Harcourt, to Kano, to Abuja, and gradually taking over Nigeria. Thank you very much for what you're doing. Really amazing job. All right. So can you share with us what are some globally relevant opportunities that you would recommend for creatives to take advantage of today?
Oh, that's a huge one. I think the easier question would be what is not an opportunity, because
right.
I would believe that when and you are good. So let's go a little differently. Say for example, you're good in maths, right? What do you do? You can look in terms of data analysis, right? And again, when you look at data analysis, you have an access to the global market. You good in, let's say you're good in drawing. I mean, what can you do? You can get into product design. You can get into advertising. The youth today has a lot more opportunity than the youth 10 years back had. And it is amazing the kind of opportunities which are available. So honestly, we are restricted by the only limitation is how wide you can think, how deep you can think. And think about it this way. Health instructors. Health is becoming like such a huge market. During the COVID times, I saw there were so many people who started doing the YouTube channels in terms of how to take care of themselves, how to daily regime in terms of food or exercise, etc., etc. Now, these people would not have had the access to such a big market 10 years back, but today they have. So I think it's not a question of which skills have the requirement worldwide. I think the way to look at this would be, how can you take your skill and take it to a larger audience globally? How can you package your skill in a manner when you have a larger audience interested in you? So to me, the driver is, how do you package your skill to a larger audience rather than whether my skill is required or not? Because you see, gone are the days when you would say, okay, the market size is so small, therefore this skill would not be required anymore. I mean, a doctor never thought that a doctor would be able to make money by talking to somebody over a video and charge them for that consultation, right? Last 2 years, 3 years, doctors have made that kind of money by just talking to people over the video, the way you and I am talking. So suddenly a doctor sitting in India might be talking to a patient sitting in America, for example, which would not have been possible in the past. So the definition of markets or the market boundaries have reduced phenomenally. And in a scenario like this, I think the question is not which skills are required more. The question is, how can you package your skills to a larger global audience and reach out to that audience?
Interesting. The bottom line or the keyword is packaging. Can you share some more insight about this? How exactly can these things be packaged? They are using that word to a global market.
So I think the first and the most important part is that you need to spend some time and energy understanding your targeted audience. Understand the nuances of the customer, what works with the customer, what does not work with the customer. Today, let's understand the fact that the customer has choices which are unprecedented. I mean, even if you look at when you were talking about things like copywriting, I mean, today, I mean, if I'm the buyer for a copy, I have a choice of copywriting from anywhere in the world, right? Now, that is being driven not only by the price. I mean, it would be driven by the, so say for example, if I'm a 40-year-old copywriter versus, and I mean, there's a customer who's having a product for targeting 21-year-old. I mean, as a 40-year-old, I need to demonstrate to the customer that I can think like a 21, and therefore I would be able to do a copy for that. So what I'm saying is the first and the most important part is you need to invest understanding your target audience. Do a little amount of research in terms of what the target audience is, what is it that they want, what are the behavioral side of the target audience, or what are the consumption side of the target audience. So that's the first part of package. The second part of it is that you need to define your skills very, very clearly and present it to the customer based on what you have learned about the customer. So that's what packaging means, right? I mean, when you look at a soap, I mean, and you talk about a soap packaging, the packaging is done in a manner where it is attractive, so that when you go to a ShopRite, you go and pick up that particular bar of soap out of 10 different bars, right? So that's what packaging means. Packaging would mean that you are able to create a differentiation for yourself in this market, which is a global market now. And the third point would be, don't find successes in the beginning. It's very, very important to find success initially and then use that success as a learning to acquire more customers. And that is where, I mean, if in the past, when I was telling you, when the first question, if somebody says, what's your budget? That's the wrong question, right? So even if you make less profit, get your businesses, because these businesses in turn would become your referrals, and your referrals would help you get more businesses. So never undermine the power of referral. I mean, a referral is a lot more valuable than advertising on the Facebook and Instagram.
Oh, yeah. So true.
So that's what I would think about. So when I talk about package, there you understand your customer, you put your skills in a manner where the customer can understand what you're saying, can feel that you are the right person to fulfill the requirement. Try getting initial successes. I mean, get low hanging fruits in form of successes, and then build on it. And it's not something which would happen overnight. Therefore, you need to be determined and you need to be patient. I mean, don't give up purely because the first 1 week or first few days you haven't got business. Be at it on a continuous basis.
Interesting. Very, very beautiful. All right. Thank you very much. It's been an amazing conversation with Pawan Bandari, the founder and director at Clickafix. Hope you've downloaded the application. Hope you have liked this video. Hope you have shared this video right now. And then hope you have hit the subscribe button if you're watching. We're going to go on a short break, and we're going to tell you what exactly Utidia Talkshow is about. Okay, so sit tight. We have some more interactive questions for Pawan, and I'll see you shortly.
Empowerment and engagement, focusing on addressing skill gap and unemployment among youths in developing countries, providing economic empowerment and encouraging youth inclusion programs across institutions and governments of developing countries, encouraging youth participation and engagement towards actualizing the 17 SDGs in developing countries. We are excited to invite you to join us on this revolutionary talk show, Let's Talk Youth. Introducing Let's Talk Youth, a Utidia Talkshow powered by YouthUp Global. This program is a youth-focused virtual talk show where leaders are invited to discuss programs and projects for youth empowerment and engagement, focusing on addressing skill gap and unemployment among youths in developing countries, providing economic empowerment and encouraging youth inclusion programs across institutions and governments of developing countries, encouraging youth participation and engagement towards actualizing the 17 SDGs in developing countries. We are excited to invite you to join us on this revolutionary talk show, Let's Talk Youth.
All right. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. So you have seen what we do at Utidia Talkshow. Let's Talk Youth. Our goal, our mission is to ensure that you are presented with global opportunities. Pawan said something at the beginning of our conversation. He said that we don't really have a problem of skilled people, but we have a problem of opportunities. Okay, people not. We have a problem of people not being able to access, relevant opportunities for their skills or their services. So that's what we are aimed to achieve right here. All right. So, Pawan, I have this question for you. Imagine that. How do you get to cope with the fact that you have lots of people who are willing to, they just want to make money. But then they're not really skilled. They're not really professional, so to say. Have you been able to cope with that? Not just on the Clickafix application, but generally as an entrepreneur in your several years of working, you said 30 years or so. Have you been able to cope with people who just want to make money? They're not skilled. They don't want to give the time to improving, their skills and growing in it. Have you been able to cope with that? And what solution would you provide for entrepreneurs?
Okay, so I think if in today's world and today's market, if you're not skilled, or if let's say if you want to make money, you need to provide something to the customer, right? So now that something can be a skill. So when we talk about skilled professionals, that can be that's where they come in, where you have to provide that skill and a solution to the customer. You can't consistently keep making money if you don't bring anything on the table. You can make money once, you can make money twice, but if you need to consistently make money, you would not be able to do it. And therefore, it is paramount that you'll have to learn a skill, or you need to have some kind of a knowledge. Now, skill is a very wide term, when we talk about. So say, for example, people say, I can make money by being a commission agent, right? So I can make two parties meet and make some money out of that. Now, that by itself is a skill, right? So knowing what the buyer wants and knowing what the seller wants and where the seller is and bringing both of them together is a skill. So if you are making money as a commission agent, right, then that's a skill which you need to upgrade on a continuous basis, which means you need to keep looking for the right kind of customers and the right kind of buyers. But you need to also be sure about something else, especially when you talk about middleman kind of businesses, is that internet is killing that business faster than those businesses are coming up with. I mean, 15 years back, 17 years back, uh, you could have place for people who would buy from one place and sell at the other place. Came in companies like Jumia, came in companies like Alibaba, and that market is reducing, right? And that's what's going to happen going forward. I mean, this middleman business would slowly and slowly get out. So people would not have much choice but to skill themselves, and not just to skill themselves once, but skill themselves on a continuous basis. I mean, today the number of people in their 40s who are relearning or upskilling themselves is phenomenal. The number of people who are going back to universities to learn themselves, take sabbaticals for a year and learn new skills or enhance their skills is phenomenal. And the reason is that they know the fact that if they don't do it, I mean, they're going to be dinosaurs.
Wow, interesting. I really like the fact that you spoke a lot about being consistent in giving value, because sadly we have that category of people who are not just interested in value but just want to make money and money and money and money, and then there's really no consistency, in giving value. And then you said something in the previous question, question I asked about referrals. You said a referral is very, very powerful, than advertising on Facebook or something. So the fact that you're able to deliver value to one person would definitely, make that person refer you to somebody else when he or she is in need of a service or a skill that you offer. So it's very important to keep offering value. And he said something, he said, regardless of whether or not the profit is so broad, so much, that's not the focus now. The focus is building a community, building a base of customers who are, really, really interested in what you do. And they're definitely going to keep referring you. So the first thing to do is not to start looking for money. The first thing to do is upskill. If you don't bring value, thank you for that comment. If you don't bring value, you will not make a sustainable income. You will not at all. And if you have any question while we prepare to round up this session, please do well to drop them, and then we're going to be taking them right away. One more time, my name is Ekomabong Ofong, and I'm your host for the Utidia Talkshow. I have with me today an amazing guest, and we've had a brilliant conversation so far. His name is Pawan B. He's the founder and the director at Clickafix. Clickafix was just launched in Lagos, Nigeria last month on the 21st of June precisely, and they had launched in Warri, Asaba Delta State last year in November. And then they're moving on to Port Harcourt, to Kano, and to Abuja. So it's a beautiful, beautiful startup that, they're building with the entire team. Okay, so just before you go, Pawan, can you share with us what key lessons would you give to entrepreneurs who are considering starting up, their own business? What would you tell them? What advice do you have for them?
So maybe I can give the same advice which was given to me when I started on my own 30 years back, which has actually hold true through and through. Besides learning and besides upskilling ourselves, etc., I think the other part of it is dig your heels, put your head down, let the wind pass by. And if you are able to do that for the first few years and survive, you would sail through. And in this entire process, have empathy for your customers. Uh, Always try to build relationships in what you are doing, whether it's from the buyer side or the seller side. Relationships are important. And be be truthful to yourself, be truthful to your profession. uh, Money, one needs to always remember, is a byproduct of all of this. Money is not the objective. Money would be the byproduct of all of this. How much money you make is going to be a function of how true you are to your customers, how true you are to your skills. Are you able to bring value to the customers? Are you able to create long sustaining relationships? And if the answers for all of this is yes, money would come in. So persistency is very, very important in all of these factors. You can't have one good customer and 10 bad customers. You will have to have 10 good customers. And I think that's, to me, is the basic secrets of entrepreneurship. Besides that, one can always talk about making a budget, money flow, etc., etc. But I think you can do all of that. But if you don't have this basic tenacity to be an entrepreneur and to take care of the hardships, build relationships, it's not going to be a successful venture. Money is important, but money should not be the driver. The driver, one needs to be clear that money is going to be the outcome of whatever one is doing. And therefore, one needs to do that well, and the money would happen.
Wow, wow. Money should not be the driving. Money is a byproduct of every other thing. Your value is going to be proven by, how much your money worth rather is going to be proven by how much value that you're able to deliver. Okay, we have a question here in the comments, and then it says, will a service provider first get trained before signing up on Clickafix?
So, no, a service provider would not get trained. We are basically onboarding trained service providers, but the service provider would get trained on the behavioral skills, not on the technical skills. So, I mean, a plumber has to be a plumber before he or she can be there, or a beautician has to be a beautician to be on Clickafix app. But once they are there, then they are trained on the customer interaction with the customer side of it. So how to talk to the customers, how to behave with the customers, how to take care of their tools, how to manage the workplace. Those kind of trainings is, so we provide the behavioral side of the trainings, not the technical side of the trainings.
Oh, okay, interesting. All right, so imagine that let's say somebody who's watching us is definitely interested in signing up as a skill, provider, probably a hairdresser, a barber, a plumber, an electrician, an AC, repairer, generator repairer. So we have these people definitely watching us right now. How can they sign up right away? And, particularly in the locations where you have covered in Lagos and Delta?
So presently, any of the professionals in Asaba or Lagos can sign up with us. So all they need to do is go to Google Play Store and look for Clickafix app and download the app. They would provide in their basic details, which is their basic NIN numbers, their photographs, what scales, which areas do they want to cater to, etc., etc. And then they would go through the verification process. Once they have done the verification process, then they decide which days they want to work, what time they want to work, what are the packages they want to deliver, what are the price points at which they want to deliver the packages. Are they willing to work on an hourly basis? If yes, what are the prices they want to do it? And then they write a little bit about themselves. They can also upload some of their previous work as to demonstrate that they have done that kind of work. And once that is done, then they go live.
Wow.
So it's a fairly simple process. I mean, it doesn't take more than 5 minutes to 7 minutes for somebody to put all this stuff, and we typically turn around in about 48 hours to verify a person.
Oh, wow. Interesting. So if you heard that clearly, then I think this is the right time for you to go ahead. He said it doesn't take 5 minutes. All you have to do is install the Clickafix application from your mobile store, on Google Play Store, on your Apple Play Store, and then sign up as a service provider. Okay, whether you want to make hairs, whether you're a barber, whether whatever other service that you want to offer. Okay, beautiful conversation so far. Thank you so much. There's a last question that I'm going to be taking, and it says, how about booking a service provider of the location of the current cities where Clickafix operates? For example, you're currently in Lagos, and then someone needs your service in Enugu, for example. Does that work? Or
No. So it works the other way around. As of now, because our service providers are city specific, therefore you can only get the services in the cities where we are, which is Asaba and Lagos. However, having said this, if you're in Port Harcourt and you want to book a service for your brother in Lagos, you can still download the app and book a service for him from Port Harcourt in Lagos.
wow.
So
Wow.
the service providers and the receivers have to be in the same city. I mean, the person who's booking it need not be. So you want to gift a beautician package to your mother. I mean, you can be anywhere in Nigeria. You can book it till the point your mom is in Lagos or Asaba. It can be done on Clickafix.
Wow, that's beautiful. Really beautiful. So that means you don't even have to be in the location where you want to give the service to, but then the person who needs the service, the home actually where the service is going to be rendered has to be within Lagos and Asaba currently. But then you can be in another city. Let's say you can be in Enugu, and then request for a service for someone in Lagos. Okay, so that's very beautiful. Thank you so much for such brilliant share you have so far. I mean, it's beautiful to know that you have been an entrepreneur for 30 years, right? It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. Thank you for this one-stop solution. I mean, this is really a solution for so many, problems with skilled artisans that we get to face, particularly here in Nigeria. So it's interesting to know that you're coming up with this solution, Clickafix. Go ahead, download the mobile application if you're watching right now, and like this video, hit the subscribe button if you haven't, and share this video with as many persons as you have on your contact list. One more time, my name is Ekomobong Ofong, and it's been beautiful having this conversation with Pawan Bandari. He is the founder and director at Clickafix. Thank you so much for taking out time to honor this invitation. It's amazing to have you. Thank you very much. All right, guys, this is wonderful. I mean, that's what I can say.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in.
It was really nice talking to you, and wish you all the best and great job. Thank you very much. Really appreciate this.
Thank you. Really great. Thank you. Thank you, viewers. Thank you, guys. This was beautiful. To everyone working behind the scenes to make this work, the entire YouthUp Global team, the entire Utidia team. I mean, you guys rock. You're good. Thank you very much. Thank you for all the support back end